there are a lot of parents that say, I don't know what to talk about when it comes to finance with my kids. And I say, well, you're probably doing it without realizing, like you're making financial decisions each day that they're going to be hearing that you don't realize that you're imparting on them. So just be really careful with it, and be really careful with the words that you use around finance around them. Because from a young age, if they start to believe really limiting and think that money is scarce and that we can't afford anything, it really does instill in them this belief that they shouldn't even talk about it because it's like negative and rude. And that can be even more dangerous than when people just don't know anything. Yeah.
What would you say are like a couple of like, here are a few common phrases to avoid around kids, and a few that you think would be like better, like switches?
Well, it's hard to say because obviously each family and culture is different when it comes to money and what they believe is right to do with money. But what I would say to a parent would be, if you catch yourself being negative about money around your kids, I know it's impossible. It can be impossible in certain situations, but try and move it away from their very, very sensitive and impressionable ears and talk about it slightly differently. And if you are talking about money, maybe make it more educational and be like, right, we've only got this amount of money to spend on these things. What do you think? And kind of bring them in and be like, engage that conversation around it. But also reaffirming that like you can make more money, by doing a job, or you can make more money from giving up your time to do something for someone else. That kind of thing is really important, just to not always talk about money in a really negative light, because it does directly fall into the ears of your young person, and then they grow up with those feelings. It's just part of life. Like, for instance, my mum is a hairdresser, and therefore a whole big part of my life has been making sure my hair always looked nice. It's just who I am. It does. Right. I honestly don't think it's weird that as a 6-year-old I had my hair in rollers. Some people do. But and it's the same with money and lots of things. It's kind of what you're used to becomes your norm.
Yeah, it's so true. And so, kind of, if it's starting so young, what do you think are then some of these kind of like common unspoken like beliefs or messages that we're hearing as young people, and that especially if you're looking at like our gen, like millennials and Gen Z, what have they been hearing that is maybe impacting and then they're then carrying into adulthood?